The news day continues here on One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. Over 1,000 families in Iloilo City are still staying in evacuation centers after Typhoon Odette hit the area. Now let's get the latest from Iloilo. We have with us Mayor Jerry Treñas of Iloilo City. He's live over the phone. Mayor Jerry, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Ms. Risa Diaz, and to all the viewers of TV5, this program. A pleasant good
Mhm,
afternoon to everyone.
mhm. Mayor Treñas, can you give us an overview? Can you describe to us the situation now in Iloilo City?
Well, if you are using the main roads or even the secondary roads, Iloilo City is almost normal. There are shoppers going to the malls, the supermarkets, coming from all over Panay. But we still have victims of this typhoon whose houses were either totally damaged or partially damaged. And Iloilo City is planning to call for a special session of the Sangguniang so that Iloilo City will be declared in a state of calamity so that we can also provide relief assistance to all the victims of this typhoon.
Mhm. Mayor Jerry, do we already have a record of as to how many individuals are injured, or do we have any record of deaths?
We only had one casualty because, Risa, when we saw that the typhoon was going to our direction, we already ordered the preemptive evacuation of all families in the affected areas, which are already pre uh, determined by our officials of the CDRRMO. And because of the preemptive evacuation, where we had about almost 4,500 individuals in evacuation centers, we were not able to have any victim due to the we were looking forward to a possible storm surge because of this typhoon. However, Iloilo City was ravaged by very strong winds
Mm-hmm.
uh, during this typhoon. In my whole 65 years of existence, I have never ever experienced the strong winds that I experienced from about 11:30 at night up to
Mm-hmm.
5:30 in the morning. It was almost sustained during that period, and that is the reason why families lost their houses. Families had their houses partially damaged. The roof
Mm-hmm.
were lot of roof were flown off. At the same time, walls were destroyed, and that is the reason why we really need construction materials for our constituents. At the same
Mm-hmm.
time, we are looking for bamboos so that we will be able to help them reconstruct their houses.
Mm-hmm. Sir, may I ask, did you or did Iloilo City already receive aid from the national government and also perhaps from the presidential aspirants?
From the national government, we were assured by the TSWD of food and non-food assistance, and we continue to coordinate with them. In the meantime, Iloilo City has our own stock of rice, canned goods, noodles, which we have started giving out even before the typhoon, and we continue to do so during this time.
Mayor, would like to check also the situation on the evacuation centers. And also, perhaps, can you walk us through the measures that we are taking to prevent the spread of COVID-19 in evacuation centers?
Well, Risa, uh, you know how Filipinos are. And as much as possible, they try to go back to their houses if it's only possible, or stay with their relatives
Mhm.
just to get out of the evacuation center. As of yesterday, we have a total of 268 persons in the evacuation center. Our city health office was very proactive to ensure that there will be social distancing, and insofar as the rooms are concerned where the evacuees were situated, only members of the same family are
Mhm.
to be relocated. We had one case of a child who was experiencing fever and chills, and
Mhm.
he was presumed to be a patient of COVID-19, and the whole family was brought to the quarantine facilities to be isolated.
Mhm. Sir, to wrap up our interview, you mentioned earlier you're in need of construction materials, bamboo, and should there be other things and essentials that your constituents would need, and there would be people that would want to donate, how can they send donations?
Well, there are families who will need blankets. There are families who will need cooking pots and pans because when their houses were totally destroyed, they lost everything. And
Mhm.
we are trying to do our best. Senator Tito Soto, by the way, sent assistance, and it will be in the form of construction materials, cooking requirements like uh, pots and pans, etc. And Senator Legarda also sent through the DSWD, once it is released by the DBM in 1 or 2 weeks, assistance to individuals in crisis situation or AIC, so that we will be
Mhm.
able to help the victims.
All right. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Mayor Jerry, for giving us all those updates, and please stay safe. That's Mayor Jerry Treñas of Iloilo City.
Thank you very much.
Meanwhile, President Duterte has designated the Social Welfare Secretary Rolando Bautista as the crisis manager in Surigao del Norte and Dinagat Islands. Bautista is going to be assisted by NDRRMC Executive Director Ricardo Halad. Now, the two are expected to facilitate the delivery of relief goods and other assistance to affected residents by the typhoon. Duterte conducted an aerial inspection over Siargao Island, Dinagat Islands, and Maasin City to personally address or assess the damage. We'll be back with more stories after the break. Keep it here on One News. You're still watching One News Now. I'm Riza Diaz. Some presidential aspirants are in Visayas to offer relief to affected residents. Vice President Lenny Robredo is going around the region to lead the relief operations on the ground. So far, Robredo has visited hard hit areas in Bohol and Cebu. Robredo is also working with the Philippine Coast Guard, who transported relief packs to Surigao del Norte and Siargao Island. Meanwhile, former Senator Ferdinand Bongbong Marcos Jr. gave 2.5 million pesos worth of relief goods and 2 million pesos in cash to Southern Leyte Governor Damian Mercado. Now, these are expected to go to affected residents in the province. A simple turnover ceremony was held at the provincial capital. Let's now take a quick look at today's other top stories. The health department reported that around 2.3 million people were jabbed with COVID-19 shots during the second leg of the mass vaccination program. The inoculation drive occurred in 6 regions from December 15 to 17. The Judicial and Bar Council endorsed 8 nominees for a Supreme Court Associate Justice post. The nominees for the position are Michael Aguinaldo, Apolinario Bruselas Jr., Amparo Cabotaje Tang, Ramon Cruz, Geraldine Faith Econg, Antonio Co Jr., Maria Filomena C., and Raul Villanueva. And the Philippines has voted against the establishment of a UN International Commission that will investigate alleged human rights violations in Ethiopia. Now, the Foreign Affairs Secretary Teddy Boy Locsin explained that the resolution does not help the situation in any way. Now, for more updates, visit News 5, the Philippine Star, and Business World Online. Visit our website, onenews.ph, for more in-depth analysis. You can also catch One News on Signal Play app. Register for a free account now, www.signalplay.com, and stream One News live anytime, anywhere. I'm Riza Diaz. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.